City Assassin does it again.
Live from WICB Radio.
Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag, 92 yards.
This is...
It's a goal. The Stanley Cup to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Chicago's Beat.
WICB Radio, this is Mike Mercado on the Chicago Beat. Happy Monday, everybody. It is Monday, May 21st, 2012. And of course, the big news in Chicago, other than NATO Summit, is the White Sox sweeping the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field this weekend, as the White Sox now go to 21-21 and the Cubs fall to 15-26. Some of the big stories to come out of this weekend is Gordon Beckham's bat heating up. Adam Dunn absolutely crushing the ball at Wrigley Field. The guy has loved to hit there since he was in Cincinnati. And of course, Paul Konerko getting plunked in the face, hopefully coming back to play Tuesday against the Minnesota Twins. And the retirement of Mr. Cub number 2, Kerry Wood. The retirement has kind of overshadowed what the White Sox did to the Chicago Cubs, but he's a fan favorite. And because of that, by popular demand, it is time for the world famous What Mike Noticed on WICB and the Chicago Beat.
It must be true, 'cause I heard it on the radio. It must be true, it must be true.
Kerry Wood will end up finishing with 86 wins, 73 losses, 63 saves, and a 3.6 ERA. But what I'm going to remember about Kerry Wood the most is two things. Kerry Wood, in his 5th big league start, gets 20 strikeouts in 9 innings with only 1 hit, beating the Houston Astros. And then, for me, probably the fondest memory I've had as a Cub fan was the 2003 season. 1908 was the last time the Cubs had won a series before that Atlanta Braves series, and Kerry Wood won 2 of those games. Now, a lot of argument has happened over this weekend whether Kerry Wood is a top 50 Cub. Where exactly does he rank? Well, to me, for a team that hadn't won a series since 1908, and then finally winning one in 2003 because 2 wins by Kerry Wood, and one of them being a Game 5 in Atlanta, he has to be on the list for me. He has to be. And that is what WICB, the Chicago Beat, and Mike Mercado noticed.
It must be true, 'cause I heard it on the radio. It must be true, it must be true.
And because the White Sox not only won the series, but swept the Chicago Cubs, I, a Cub fan, will have to give dap to one of my friends, who is a White Sox fan, and the rest of you White Sox fans. So here you go. Just to show you I'm not completely biased, here's for all you White Sox fans and your team sweeping the Chicago Cubs.
Sox, go, go, White Sox! Let's go, 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 White Sox!
Now, if you're a Sox fan, there's a lot to look forward to. You're right there in the division. You're just at 500. Played the worst team in the National League. Now you get to go play the worst team in the American League in the Minnesota Twins. You get Paul Konerko back. This is the time to make the run if you're a Chicago White Sox player. This is it right here. This is when the team can finally make some room, put themselves in position for later on the season to make a serious playoff push. And that's what you're seeing the difference between the two teams. Myself as a Cub fan, I can see where the rebuilding has begun. I can see some of the bright spots. But I'm also a realist. I understand that their playoff chances are slim to none. The White Sox have a viable chance of making a playoff push, but they need to take advantage of the schedule right now. This is when teams start separating themselves. You've already seen Texas establish themselves. You've seen Tampa Bay. You know where the Yankees are going to stand in all this. Boston's a wild card. Now, your division, Detroit's struggling. Cleveland's not going to hold on to that number 1 spot. So you can make your ground right now and put yourself in a viable, crucial spot into a playoff push later on this season. Tweet the show at mmercado2333 or comment us on Facebook at facebook.com/MikeMercado2333.com. That wasn't the only big thing going on in sports this weekend, guys. The NBA playoffs have been amazing. You have the San Antonio Spurs sweeping the LA Clippers, and each game was a very competitive, very drama-filled series. You had Chris Paul, who could be one of the top 10 players in the NBA, single-handedly carry the Clippers to the second round, didn't have enough gas to keep going, to beat this team. In my personal opinion, the LA Clippers are a media-made team. But other than Chris Paul, there's nobody on that team that turns you and say, yeah, they could make a serious playoff push, because they've never done it before. But then you look across, well, not even across, but in the same stadium, you have the Oklahoma City Thunder and Kevin Durant, who has ice in his blood, try to take the series tonight. It's not if they beat the Lakers, but when they take the series from the Lakers, you're going to have the San Antonio Spurs versus the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. Now, if you're a basketball enthusiast and you love this game, that is going to be an awesome series. That's a dream series. Now, the national media may not be drooling over it, but if you're looking for pure, beautiful played basketball, that is it right there. And then in probably the story of the basketball world this weekend, it's the Miami Heat, who had their back against the wall, what seemed to be doomsday, being down 2-1 to the Indiana Pacers. You have what ends up being a historic game by LeBron James with 40 points, 18 rebounds, and 9 assists. And then Dwayne Wade with 22 points in the second half. Those two carry the team with Udonis Haslem. That's it. But yet, they go back to Miami now, tied 2-2 instead of down 3-1. A complete series shift. That could have been a must-win for both teams. Now, Indiana's playing tough, and this is going to be a tough series. Now, in my opinion, this could go 7. And if it goes 7, that's only helping out the winner of the Philadelphia 76ers Boston Celtics series. Boston needs to finish that series early, though, if they're going to try to take out the Miami Heat. And if Philadelphia happens to beat out Boston, their best-case scenario is meeting up against the Indiana Pacers. Because Chris Bosh isn't going to be out forever, guys. And we're seeing how important he is to this Miami Heat team. If he's not there, Dwayne Wade and LeBron James need to go off for a total of about 70 points between each other. Tweet the show at mmercado2333 or comment us on Facebook at facebook.com/MikeMercado2333.com. Thank you for listening. You have yourself a beautiful Monday. Enjoy the games, enjoy the weather, and we'll see you here on the Chicago Beats.